Today we're going on a mini photography adventure. I'll be riding my bike from here, from my hometown, to a beautiful canyon about 18 miles away. But it's the journey to that canyon that I'm most excited about, because even after nearly a decade of photographing these landscapes, I still have so much to explore and discover around here. It's a really beautiful morning so far. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's do it. I've spent many years in these landscapes, and yet, thanks to photography, I keep discovering new things here almost every day. It's the camera that pushes me to get out, to wander again and again. This is a subject I'll be photographing quite a bit today, the overgrown vegetation. This has been a very wet spring so far, so everything is out of control, and I love photographing signs and any other human structures in the middle of that overgrown vegetation, because it feels like it's out of a post-apocalyptic movie or something like that. I think I'm gonna keep my helmet on. Anyway, I photographed this church many times in the past in much better conditions than today, but it's a good photo because the background is beautiful with the mountains on one side, the castle in my hometown on the other one. So yeah, I'm gonna take a couple of shots. The gift of photography is the power to notice what we'd otherwise overlook. Because over time, the familiar becomes invisible. Our brains tune it out. We stop seeing. But the camera brings it back into focus, reminding us to pay attention. You gotta love these all signs that faded to white, to blank. This one even has some bullet holes there. This gift isn't free though. We have to put in the work, a lot of work. You might see a few of these today. That's because I'm following the Camino's official route, the one that goes through my hometown, that is different from the most famous one that I did a few years ago. You can watch the video there. It is a much less crowded route, and it is a great way to know the place where I live, because if it wasn't because of that arrow telling me to go that way, I would just keep going on the main road. But instead, we are taking a much narrower path, a much more beautiful one too. Beautiful it was, but loud too. Well, it looks like they are working on clearing the path for the Camino, which is a good thing because, as I said, everything is very much overgrown. The bad news for me is that I'm very allergic to all of these weeds, and that is the last thing I needed. I took an allergy pill this morning, but we will see how this works out. We say we find images, but more often than not, we make them. Camino de Inverno, that means the winter way, because this is supposedly the route that you should take in the winter time to avoid the snow in the mountains. We are doing it in late spring because it doesn't really matter. Walking is my favorite way to explore a place. Your heart beats at the right rhythm for creativity. Not too slow, not too fast. it's a great way to get in that state of flow. The bike is great too. It lets you go farther while still being slow enough to see. You see, even though I've been photographing my hometown for almost a decade now, I've never been here on these paths, and you know, it's beautiful. I haven't found any incredible images yet, but what a way to explore and discover the place. Whew. These trails are not easy on the bike. It is pretty steep and it's very slippery. And finally, the canyon. That's me, by the way. Isn't it beautiful here? Look at both sides. Well, so this is it. This is the end of this mini adventure on this beautiful morning. I didn't make a lot of images, and the ones that I made aren't like the best ones ever, but these kind of places need a lot of work. You have to work on them day after day. That's what I've been doing for the last few years, and I only got like a handful of amazing images that I really love. But this is about much more than just getting good photographs. It's about, as I always say, paying attention and getting to know the place you live in. Photography has done it for me here in my hometown, because since I own a camera, I've been walking, biking and driving hundreds of days around this place, and I got to go to places I never knew existed, beautiful places. So I hope that you get to do something similar, whatever might be that you live. You might not have the most amazing hiking trails or biking trails. You might have to drive a little bit to get to them, and I know that it can get very hard depending on where you live, but there's always something out there, you know. Making videos like this one is a lot of work, hard work. Even though officially this bike ride was almost 18 miles or around 29 kilometers, actually it was more than that. I got some extra miles because I had to set up the camera, go back to grab it once the shot was done, and that was not the easiest thing to do in some spots. So if you like what I do here and you want to support my work, please consider joining my Patreon page or buy one of my books available in my website.